You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
And right now at 7, Neosho is celebrating the holiday season by lighting Christmas lights in Big during the park.
Also, new documents released showing former President George W. Bush says that 9/11 could not have been prevented.
And we're going to take a look at our very windy forecast across the area. We got a wind advisory, gusts pushing 40 to 50 miles an hour. A complete look at that forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Authorities investigating 2 shooting deaths in southwest Missouri say it looks like a case of murder-suicide. The deaths were discovered in Lawrence County, west of Miller, Missouri, Monday afternoon, but the Sheriff's Department released their findings and the names on Thursday. Officers went to the home this week after receiving a call that a person had not been heard from since before Thanksgiving. Inside, they found the body of 55-year-old Caleb Kingsley of Miller. Investigators say he had been shot in the head while asleep in bed. They also found the body of 43-year-old Linda Kennedy of Chautauqua, Kansas. Sheriff's office says she died of a self-inflicted gunshot. Investigators say the two knew each other and there is no threat to the community. Some college students are helping make Christmas a little brighter for some local kids. Missouri Southern's Accounting Club has partnered with KOAM's Toy Box year after year to help children in our area have a brighter Christmas morning. They collect toys on campus that are donated from MSSU's students and staff. These students are learning they can make a difference in children's lives.
I think it's important for them to know that not everybody has the same opportunities that they have had, that maybe they're more blessed than some other kids, and that they can actually make a difference in somebody else's life.
You can contribute a toy or a monetary donation to the Toy Box Project. Just go to our website at koamnewsnow.com/toybox. The city of Neosho, Missouri gets in the Christmas spirit by turning on its Christmas lights at Big Spring Park. The event also featured Christmas carols and a reading of the Christmas story.
Well, everybody loves the holidays. A lot of good things. Like I said, this is kicking off our Neosho holiday season. We've got the parade this Saturday. It's just a good time.
Clifford, the big red dog, was also on hand to give out books to students. Bissell Pet Foundation is bringing holiday hope to shelter pets in Joplin. The foundation is a national animal welfare organization dedicated to ending pet homelessness. Joplin Humane Society joined more than 275 shelters participating in the Empty the Shelters Holiday Hope event. As part of the event, they're offering $25 adoption fees for cats, dogs, kittens, and puppies.
We are currently caring for over 500 animals in this building, so the more that we can get out into homes for the holidays, the more space that opens up for the animals in the community that need our help.
The event will last through the 11th. For information on how to adopt, you can download the KOAM News Now app. Well, for the first time in 2 decades, we're learning about what happened during an Oval Office meeting between then President George W. Bush and 10 members of the 9/11 Commission. Tom Foreman has the details.
Out of the confusion following the 9/11 attack came key questions. Did then President George W. Bush and his team see it coming? And could they have stopped it?
Today our nation saw evil, the very worst of human nature.
The recently declassified report from April 2004 shows him pushing back firmly against that whole idea. No one said there was a problem domestically. The threat was overseas. That's what the report says Bush told members of the 9/11 Commission during an extraordinary question and answer session that lasted more than 3 hours about his reaction to the attack and his administration's intelligence gathering. The report, which is not an official transcript, summarizes his explanations. We were aware that bin Laden had sympathizers in the United States prior to the attack, but there was no actionable intelligence on such a threat, not one. When a commissioner noted there was intelligence about specific attacks being planned, Bush repeated, overseas.
We all understood bin Laden's attempt to strike the homeland.
What's more, the report says when asked about intelligence reports of domestic threats, Bush replied, if they came in and said we found a cell, Bush's action would have been destroy it. In another section, a commissioner pushes the then president to explain his reaction to an intelligence report just a month before 9/11 entitled, "Bin Laden Determined to Strike in U.S." The president said since he was aware that al-Qaeda agents were being tracked in America, he had asked for it, that report, and it didn't say anything about a specific attack.
Other parts of the report deal with the confusion in the hours right after the first plane hit and the efforts to track down bin Laden and disable al-Qaeda. Through it all, President Bush insisted he should be held responsible for all that happened in the lead up to that day, but he also makes it clear that it is different than being blamed.
We're going to have winds gusting 40, 50 miles an hour across the region. And this is as we head into through the morning, into the afternoon, and even into the early evening. Still very strong wind gusts out there. And even after the front pushes through, the winds will shift from the south to the north. But we still got gusts 25, 30 miles an hour. So do not inflate your Christmas decorations and make sure your trash can is secure, because this is a day it could be gone forever. Nothing on the Skywatch Storm Tracker except this big area of tan, and that's all of our counties under a wind advisory now through 6 o'clock this evening. Got a cloudy start to the day in Joplin, 50 degrees, wind is south-southwest at 20 miles an hour. That's the other thing. The winds today will be sustained 20 to 30, and then you'll add in the gusts on top of that. A lot of 50s across the region. Yates Center, Neodesha, Chanute, Parsons, Independence, Sedan, Chatopa, Miami, Neosho, Lamar, Carthage, Nevada, Stockton. 48 though in Monette, 47 in Iola. And as we go through today, we'll eventually warm up into the upper 50s, lower 60s for some of us. It's mostly cloudy and of course very breezy. We'll still be breezy heading into tonight. Cold front comes through and then drops our temperatures down to 30 degrees for the overnight low. 7-day forecast, only 40 degrees tomorrow, but we do see some sunshine. Rain chances Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and a slight warm up. Cooler Wednesday, partly cloudy, then way above average as we go into Thursday, Friday, Saturday with increasing rain chances. That system cools us back down. 39 Sunday, and the possibility of a wintry mix as we head into the end of the next weekend.
All right, thanks, Chris. Up next, researchers in Japan use tiny worms to try and help detect pancreatic cancer.
And later, a man in Wichita, Kansas is saved from a house fire by his dog. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We're back after this, but first, here's some drone footage of the Carthage Christmas lights.
In Health Watch this morning, the early detection of cancer can help save lives, and now researchers in Japan say they've created the first ever early detection kit for pancreatic cancer, a unique process using tiny worms to try and identify the hard-to-diagnose disease. Anita Vogel takes a special look.
Tiny worms could help detect initial signs of pancreatic cancer. That's according to Japanese researchers who say they've developed the world's first early screening test for the disease.
What's very important with early detection of cancer and these kinds of diseases is being able to sense very trace amounts.
And that's exactly what these worms do. Measuring in at 1 millimeter in length, about the thickness of a credit card, the worms are a species of nematodes, round worms with exceptional smelling capabilities, better than humans and dogs. Users send urine samples to a lab where scientists genetically modified the worms to swim away from cancer samples.
There are various types of cancer tests using different methods around the world, but none have a method using capabilities of living organisms. So I want to raise the understanding of that around the world.
If the results show a high risk for cancer, patients can undergo additional testing to avoid false positives. In the U.S., pancreatic cancer is the 4th leading cause of cancer death in men and women. The worm test costs a little more than $500. Researchers are hoping to have it available in the U.S. sometime next year. They're also aiming to develop tests for liver, cervical, and breast cancers in the future. Anita Vogel, Fox News.
We have a wind advisory that runs until 6 o'clock tonight because we'll see gusts upwards of 40, 50 miles an hour. We're going to be cloudy today as well, and we're cloudy now, 50 in Joplin, south-southwest breeze at 20. We're in the 50s for most of us across the area, as you can see. Say Pittsburgh at 49, 47 in Iola, 48 in Monette. Now, as we go through today, we're going to be pushing highs into the upper 50s and lower 60s, mostly cloudy, very windy. So make sure you don't blow up your Christmas inflatables and make sure that your trash can is secure today. Cold front comes through. The wind stays gusty overnight but shifts out of the north, and we drop back down to a low of 30 degrees. We only make it to 40 tomorrow, partly cloudy. We got rain Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We also see a slight warm up, a little cooler Wednesday, and then above average Thursday, Friday, Saturday into the 60s with more rain chances. Then we cool down again on Sunday, and we get that wintry mix possibility by next Sunday. We're going to be back with a lot more, but first, here's some drone footage of the Carthage Christmas lights.
Kind of true.
If elected, he will be the nation's youngest black mayor. Daniel Wilkerson has more from both candidates who say they've become friends throughout this election process.
He's 18 years old. He still lives at home. He's a recent high school graduate, and he wants to be the next mayor of Earl, Arkansas.
You're never too young to want to make a difference in your community.
If elected, Jalen Smith says he will be the youngest black mayor in the nation.
Man, you know, that doesn't scare you? No, not at all.
Earl, Arkansas, with a population of about 2,000 people, sits about 35 minutes outside of Memphis. Smith ran in a primary, advancing to a runoff that will take place next Tuesday. He says he's been beating the pavement, campaigning, telling voters what he'll do for the city of Earl.
First, I want to improve public safety here. Secondly, tear down abandoned houses, transportation here for the community, bring a grocery store here.
Smith's opponent, Nehemiah Matthews Sr., get this, has been employed by the city of Earl for twice as many years as Smith has been alive.
And when I decided I was going to run, I went to him and talked to him then, and we've been friends through the whole thing.
As for what Matthews says he will do for Earl,
police protection, better fire protection, because our citizens deserve it.
Matthews has worked for the city for 40 plus years. For the past 30 years, he's worked as street superintendent. He's also a lieutenant with the city's police department.
Been no animosity or anything, as far as me and Jalen concerned.
Perhaps this is life in a small town. The two candidates say they respect each other. Their families have known one another for years.
Everything has been cordial. If I can help him do anything, he would. I'll do it. And likewise with him.
After all, how could you not admire this young man who says he's heard the whispers of people wondering whether he's old enough for the job of mayor?
I'm, strategizer, things don't work, I go another way.
Now, Earl residents will elect their next mayor on December the 6th. We do have an alert day for us today with those strong gusty winds pushing 40, 50 miles an hour. And that does mean that east-west highways are going to be especially susceptible to this, as this breeze will be out of the south. We go through the morning and into the afternoon. We're still looking at upwards of 50 mile an hour wind gusts. They let up just a wee bit heading into this evening, 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts. And even overnight, once the front moves through, wind shifts from the north, but we still have 25 to 30 mile an hour wind gusts. This is a trash can gone forever kind of day. Make sure it's secure, and do not inflate your Christmas decorations tonight either, because you do not want to donate them to the next county unless you're just feeling especially giving. We have this tan over the entire area. That is a wind advisory that runs until 6 o'clock tonight. We are cloudy now. We will be mostly cloudy through the day. 50 in Joplin, wind to south-southwest at 20 miles an hour. Temperatures across the area. Most of it, look at this. I mean, it is almost 90% of us at 50 degrees right now. 49 Pittsburgh, Bentonville, 48 Cassville, Monette, and 47 in Iola. Otherwise, 50-degree readings. We're going to head into the upper 50s, lower 60s, mostly cloudy, very breezy. The breezy conditions hold on tonight. Cold front comes through, sends our temperatures down under mostly cloudy skies to 30 degrees. And then tomorrow, not much warmer, but the good news is we see some sunshine. 40 degrees on Saturday. Rain chances Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and a slow warming trend. We cool off again Wednesday, partly cloudy, 49. Then we get way above average Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of next week as we see more rain chances. And this system knocks our temperatures back down, only 39 by next Sunday, but because it's so much cooler and we still have moisture around, we're going to be looking at the possibility of a wintry mix by next Sunday. We'll be right back with a lot more after this, but first, here's some drone footage of the Carthage Christmas lights.
It's time to honor today's four-state hero, Corporal Robert Wingard. The Pittsburgh, Kansas native served from 1945 to 1946 in France, Germany, and Austria as part of the 232nd Field Artillery Battery Headquarters, 42nd Rainbow Division. To Corporal Robert Wingard, we thank you, today's four-state hero.
Well, Kansas man lost his home in a devastating fire, but he's crediting his dog for saving his life.
Eli Higgins reports.
Like, I feel like I haven't even processed this yet. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to put into words.
For the first time in the daylight, Tyler Rebel has seen his entire life in a pile of ash after this devastating fire destroyed his home Sunday night. But in the wake of tragedy, Rebel can't help but feel thankful.
She's my best friend, man. She's a good dog. She's my hero right now, and I'm really proud of her.
Rebel says his 6-year-old dog, Monroe, is the only reason he's alive.
She didn't even hesitate. She knew something was wrong, and she had to get me out of there, and that's what she did.
He says it all started when he decided to take a Sunday nap while watching football.
She jumped on the bed and just instantly was like nudging my head and whining and like a cry, kind of like a whimper.
Rebel woke up to a thick cloud of black smoke that filled his entire house. Barely able to see, barely able to breathe, he grabbed Monroe, ran down the hall, and barely made it past the flames racing toward his room.
I think we got out in the nick of time, man. Just really lucky. I think if she wasn't there, I wouldn't have made it out alive for sure.
While Rebel has a long road ahead, he says he has a new perspective on what truly matters in life.
I think we take a lot for granted, you know, and all that stuff in there isn't what matters, you know. Like, it can all be replaced. She can't, like I can't. It is a very humbling experience.
Wow. Rebel is still hoping his cat Boo made it out of the house fire safely.
He says firefighters have not found the feline yet.
Hopefully they are able to find his cat as well. We've got some very windy conditions. Got an alert day for us today as wind gusts will be pushing 40-50 miles an hour out of the south with sustained winds of 20 to 30. These strong wind gusts are going to hold on through the morning into the afternoon and even into the evening hours. And then once the cold front starts to shift through tonight, the winds will die down a bit. We're talking gusts 20 to 30 and they shift out of the north. So east-west highways are going to be very susceptible to these winds if you're driving, so do be careful. This is also a trash can gone forever kind of day. Make sure it's secure, and as we've been saying all morning, do not inflate your Christmas decorations tonight. We got this tan across the entire area, and that is a wind advisory through 6 o'clock tonight. We are cloudy right now. We'll be mostly cloudy today. 50 in Joplin, wind to south-southwest at 20, gusting into the 30 to 40 mile an hour range. 50s for 90% of us across the area, as you can see. 49 Pittsburgh, 47 Iola, 49 Yates Center, but otherwise, majority of us sitting right at 50 degrees. We're heading for highs in the upper 50s, lower 60s, mostly cloudy and of course quite breezy. Windy still tonight. Once that cold front comes through, temperatures drop quickly. We get back down to 30 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Not very warm tomorrow, but the sun returns, 40. And then we have rain chances Sunday, Monday, Tuesday with a slight warming trend. A little cooler Wednesday, partly cloudy, above average toward the end of next week. Into the 60s Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with more rain chances. And this system holds on, gets our temperatures down, only 39 next Sunday, and we could see a wintry mix by then. So definitely a forecast to keep an eye on and one heck of a roller coaster ride with all these temperatures. We'll be back with more after this, but first, here's some drone footage of the Carthage Christmas lights.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. Academy Sports and Outdoors teams up with the Joplin Fire Department to give back to the community. Academy provided a $3,000 Academy gift card to go towards the fire department's holiday donation drive. The department then went shopping at Academy to buy gifts for families in need.
It's kind of contagious. You get involved and you help a little bit, and then over time everybody just enjoys that feeling of helping other people. As firefighters, we just love to help people, and it's just a wonderful time of the year because everybody's involved.
This is the second consecutive year the two have teamed up. Every gift purchased will stay in the Joplin area. Some college students are helping make Christmas a little brighter for some local kids. KOAM's Carrie Worthen talks with some students about why they are giving back.
I hope they just have some joy in their hearts, that they can wake up and just be grateful that they do get a present, but also hopefully at some point in their life they can be able to do the same for other kids.
Missouri Southern's Accounting Club has partnered with KOAM's Toy Box year after year to help children in our area have a brighter Christmas morning. They collect toys on campus that are donated from MSSU students and staff.
I think it's important that all kids get joy around Christmas time and that they don't feel excluded, and anything that we can do to help that is good.
This is their last meeting for the semester, and along with this bingo game, the Toy Box project was again on their agenda.
These students are about to become professionals in the community, and I think it's very important for them to learn the value of giving back to the community.
It just makes me feel good and makes me thankful that I can be a part of something that's bigger than myself.
The Accounting Club knows better than most the power of numbers that keep adding up, one toy at a time, one child at a time, counting down to a Merry Christmas. In Joplin, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
Well, even if it's not Toy Box Tuesday, you can still donate. You can go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com/toybox. And coming up with the KOAM Morning News, well, we just had Carrie Worthen's story there. And we featured our very own Vance Lewis as well, which was pretty awesome. He does a lot for us. Okay, so the Toy Box Telethon on Tuesday was a success, but that wasn't the last chance you have to donate. KOAM is always looking to brighten the holiday for kids in the 4 states. If you're out shopping this weekend, we invite you to pick up an extra toy. How about a new one for our Toy Box project benefiting area kids in need? Now, this QR code that you see on the screen here will direct you to drop-off locations. It also makes it easy to give a financial donation if you'd prefer. And you can also find the links on our website and the KOAM News app. Our next Toy Box Tuesday Telethon is next week during our noon, 5 and 6 p.m. newscasts.
Very, very important project we have here.
Well, this morning we're discussing December movies.
It's December, of course, and that means it's time to talk about those movies. And from a movie, it takes about a darker version of Santa, and then Del Toro putting his own spin on Pinocchio. There's something for everyone to watch.
I'm curious about the Santa movie. However, we did this last year and we're going to do it again this year. And it's like the question every year. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie or not? Well, we want to know.
And so far, people have been voting, and it was almost even split earlier, still close. 45% say it is. 55% of you say it is not. Make sure you vote through our website, through our app, and share your reasons for voting one way or another on our Facebook page. And you got time to do it if you want to stay indoors, and you just might want to because it's going to be ultra windy today. We've got wind gusts pushing 40, 50 miles an hour across the area. We're also looking at temperatures even right now, so we have the alert day for that. Wind gusts will be in that 50 mile an hour range through the afternoon and even into the 40 mile an hour range heading into this evening. And it'll be out of the south, so east-west roads are going to be very susceptible to these winds. Be careful. Cold front pushes through, winds shift to the north, but still gusting 20, 30 miles an hour. This is a trash can gone forever kind of day. Make sure it's secure. And as we've been telling you this morning, do not turn on your Christmas inflatables tonight either. You don't want to donate them to the next county over. Wind advisory for all of our counties until 6 o'clock this evening. Cloudy skies in Joplin. It'll remain mostly cloudy today. 50 degrees, wind south-southwest at 20. So that's the other half of this, is sustained winds at 20 to 30. Look at this. 90% of it, 98% of us at 50 degrees right now. Got 49 Yates Center, 47 in Iola, 49 in Pittsburgh, and 49 down in Bentonville. But as you can see, everybody else sitting about 50 degrees. We're going to head for highs into the upper 50s, lower 60s, mostly cloudy, quite breezy, still breezy tonight. Cold front rolls through, sends our temperatures way down. 30 degrees for our overnight low tonight. 40 tomorrow, but at least we see some sunshine. Then we have rain and a slow warming trend Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Cooler Wednesday, 49, partly cloudy. Well above average heading into Thursday, Friday, Saturday with more rain chances. And then we cool off again by next Sunday. We're looking at the possibility of a wintry mix by next Sunday. We'll be right back after this, but first, here's some drone footage of the Carthage Christmas lights.
Welcome back. It's time to close out the week with our own Shannon Becker and his big 3 stories. Welcome.
Hello. I haven't seen Die Hard either.
Yeah, that's what you said earlier, and I just don't. How?
I don't know.
Did you miss the boat
I don't
on
know.
Die Hard?
But you know, there's other big movies I haven't
I
seen.
believe that Chris lived in a cave. So
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
he
so that's
did?
probably why he missed it. But
Yeah, I can't promise you I'll watch it this year either. Sorry. So let's
your
take.
goal is to watch it over the next week, so
All
we
right.
can revisit this.
All right. Let's take a look at some stuff I have seen in person. It's our big 3 stories of the week live on local news and what's happening. It was a fatal car crash on the west side of Sarcoxie, Missouri 37 and Blackberry Road. It killed a 20-year-old man from Sarcoxie. Family is raising funds currently. His girlfriend was also in the car. She works at the Come and Go in Sarcoxie. She's in ICU currently. More details, KOAM News Now on our website.
What day did this happen?
It happened on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
And our number 2 story, Joplin News First. We were there first at the crime scene. It was a double homicide. 3 people were shot at a residence, 2400 Lincoln Avenue in Baxter Springs. That's the KBI crime unit. They were there throughout the night. Man was taken into custody just a few blocks away from the residence. Shortly after it happened, it was never an active shooter situation, we were told, because all that occurred between people who knew each other is what happened inside a residence.
According to the reports, neither the shooter nor any of the shooting victims actually lived at that
they
house.
were all from Missouri. I'm not necessarily sure if they lived there or not. Some of the neighbors said they did, but their
they
residence,
just weren't their listed address.
yes, their residence was still in Missouri.
No, this we've actually covered stories at this house.
Yes, we have. Yeah, we have covered stories here at this. There was a drug bust there in July where 4 people were arrested. I don't know about the charges still, but all 4 were arrested and charged with drug possession at the residence.
There you go.
And none of those 4 were involved in what occurred here. Our number 1 story, it's coming down. What used to be the Hallmark Inn Best Western, and before that was a Sheraton, I believe, when it was first built. Attached to it, back in the 70s and 80s, restaurants were always really big attached to a hotel. The Beefmasters restaurant is coming down at 3600 Range Line. It's been in disrepair for about the past 2 years. I don't know officially when they closed, but when I was a kid, Beefmasters, that was a really fancy place to go. There's the salad bar. This is before it's all being taken down. Legend, I believe it was called Legends Bar. That's the inside there. Police have been there a lot in the last 5-6 years, so it's about time for this to come down. It's listed for $1.96 million if you're interested.
For just the property?
3 acres, yes, but it is prime. It's right on the edge there of
If you had
Range
to
Line.
guess what they would do you think a new hotel would go?
Yeah,
in
I would
that
think
spot,
so. Yeah,
Good-
I would definitely
good
think
location
so.
for that?
Yeah, and then our bonus story of the week. This is fun. He's from MSSU. Brandon Williams went to the Ravens. This is from 2013. Now he just signed with the Chiefs, a late season signing. So he's from St. Louis, played at Missouri Southern. Now he's back in Missouri. That's going to be really awesome, right? So he signed on Wednesday. It was a big rumor that started about a week ago on ESPN.
Will he be playing with him already?
Well, they say he's
Sunday?
going to be on the practice squad, but people that I know have said that he's going to see some play time. So we'll find
That'd
out.
be cool. That'd be cool.
And
Look at
him and his
baby.
wife recently had a baby, and he had challenged Patrick Mahomes yesterday on Instagram. He said, "Let's see whose babies can hold their head up the longest." I thought that was really, really funny.
That's cute.
And he's been training in Rogers also. So that's really, it's awesome. Congratulations to him. And it was a big story this week. It's our bonus, though. KOAM News Now, our big 3 stories of the week.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Yes.
And we'll see you back here next week with
I'll be
another
there.
3.
Yep.
We'll be right back.
We got an alert day for us today as we'll have winds gusting out of the south from 40 to 50 miles an hour and sustained winds at 20 to 30 miles an hour. And these gusts are going to hang with us through the morning into the afternoon and even into the evening. We'll still have 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts. And once the front pushes through, the wind shifts out of the north and it dies down a wee bit, but we still have 25, 30 mile an hour wind gusts across the area. So make sure your trash can is secure so it's not gone forever, and don't inflate your Christmas display because it could be gone forever as well. All of our counties in this tan color. This is a wind advisory through 6 o'clock tonight. As you can see, we're starting to get a little bit of sunlight out there. We're still having mostly cloudy skies across the area. 50 in Joplin, south-south wind at 20 miles an hour. And so far through the morning, 90% of us have been in the 50s across the area. We're heading for highs into the upper 50s, lower 60s, mostly cloudy, very breezy. Windy conditions hold on tonight. That cold front pushes through, drops us back down to 30 degrees on the 7-day. Don't warm up a lot. 40 tomorrow. Rain Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, a little bit warmer. A break on Wednesday and cooler, and then back to 61 Thursday with more rain chances.
Do you have any more details?
You've heard of shrinkflation and greedflation before. Here's another one to add to your vocabulary: tipflation. Shoppers report seeing more and more tip requests in growingly unusual places. As Isabel Rosales reports, you might not be able to escape it while holiday shopping, even from home.
I actually prefer not to call it tipflation, but a tipping invasion.
It's the unwelcome shopping surprise that has social media buzzing.
18% gratuity is already included in the bill. Girl, it's water.
Tips, a staple of the service industry, now extending far beyond.
In the drive-thru, and they've been asking for a tip.
On TikTok, you'll quickly find folks aren't too pleased about it.
Ordering it online myself. It says, would you like to add a tip at the bottom? A tip? For what?
That's a little too crazy for me, and I refuse.
So what's the deal?
The wage moving, I see becoming more widespread.
Professor Depayam Biswas has studied tipping for a decade. He says this new tipping trend started with the boom of digital kiosks. Then the pandemic, plus inflation,
added fuel to that fire.
More businesses allowing tips to make jobs more lucrative at your expense.
That's my biggest worry, that it might actually affect the industry where it really matters the most.
This is Mr. Manners.
The very concept of a tip is that we are rewarding a service employee who's being paid less than minimum wage.
Thomas Farley has a tip without hesitation list, and just 3 people make the cut: servers, bartenders, and washroom attendants.
I really wonder, where's the line? It is accelerated beyond all of our wildest nightmares.
To avoid tipping, pay cash. But if plastic is a must,
you need to own your position. You do not need to feel guilty about it.
There's power in saying no.
Now that's worth a tip.
I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
After 31 years behind bars, Johnny Ray is out on parole and trying to start fresh with a new trucking job.
Jaxie Pigeon has the story.
Johnny Ray was just 17 years old when he was accused and later convicted of murder. He used his time wisely in jail, getting his GED.
When I first got incarcerated, I didn't have an education. I didn't know my alphabet. So when I went to prison, I went and got my education. I taught myself how to read and write in Spanish. I landed a job as a teacher's aide. I was teaching inmates how to read and write.
After 31 years behind bars, Ray is out on parole and trying to start fresh. The first place he went? The Texas Workforce Commission, where he found out he qualified for grants to go to trade school.
They're on their road to recovery, the road to being self-sufficient. So we're doing everything to help them get to that point by providing those services for them.
Ray wanted to drive trucks, so he signed up for the Commercial Driver's License, or CDL, course at South Plains College.
I can just get out there, drive, and at the same time, it's a good occupation, and it makes decent money, and I don't have to depend on anybody. I can depend on myself.
Lydia Franco helped Ray get into a 4-week course at the ATDS truck driving school. She says after hearing his story, She wanted to help guide the almost 50-year-old.
I knew in my heart and in my spirit, this man needs to be helped. You cannot leave that person behind. You have to be the one to say, you know what, I'm holding a key to your destiny. Let me help you unlock that.
Franco tells us getting a CDL can open so many doors.
It's a place to be. Opportunity for growth, opportunity for advancement, opportunity for changing your life.
Ray will take a skills test next week, and as long as he passes, he can officially hit the road as a truck driver.
Now I want to be able to show that just because a person has hit rock bottom doesn't mean that they can't rise back up.
Power of a second chance.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good to be able to have some of those second chances sometimes. Everybody needs one. And our wind today is really going to be howling out there. We do have an alert day for us today. We'll have south winds at 20 to 30 miles an hour, those gusts pushing 40 to 50. That's already going on, and it will continue through the morning into the afternoon and still be pretty breezy as we head into the evening, 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts. And as our cold front comes through, as we've mentioned, the winds will shift out of the north, but they'll still be up there 25, 30 miles an hour. So make sure your trash can is secure so it does not end up gone forever. Also, do not inflate your Christmas displays tonight because you don't want them gone forever either. All of us in this tan, that's a wind advisory until 6 o'clock tonight. We're cloudy in Joplin. We're trying to get some sun out there. 50 degrees, south-southwest wind at 20. And we've got 98% of us at 50 degrees. We got 49 Center, 48 Iola, 49 in Pittsburgh, and 51 up in Stockton. As we're heading through the rest of the day, we got our temperatures warming into the upper 50s, even some lower 60s out there. We'll stay mostly cloudy and breezy. Cold front pushes through. We stay windy into this evening. Temperatures drop back down to 30 degrees for our overnight low. Not a lot of warming going to happen tomorrow, but at least the sun comes out. Partly cloudy, 40. And then we have rain chances and a slow warm-up Sunday, Monday into Tuesday. Then we're cool again Wednesday. Then we're above average heading into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We also see rain chances all 3 of those days. And after our temperatures drop Saturday, we only make it to 39 Sunday. We could see a wintry mix on Sunday of next weekend. That's it for your forecast. We're going to be back with a lot more after this. But first, some drone footage of the Carthage Christmas lights.